He dribbled into the backcourt. He corralled the ball in the front court, but dribbled into the backcourt as he was hounded by Jones. Great defense by the Terriers once again, and a turnover for NJIT. Two more subs come back in. Damon Lynn and Nigel Sidner return for the Highlanders, and Aleks Isailovic, Mr. Game-winning bank shot himself, comes in for St. Francis to inbound. The senior guard from Belgrade, Serbia, who increased his points per game average by nearly a point per game with the 9 points he scored against Lafayette on Thursday. Jones left wing, bounce pass left block to Cannon, and a whistle and a foul away from the ball. It's an offensive foul on Ben Mockford. So that's his first, and the fourth on the Terriers, who lead 9-5, 13:56 remaining here in the first half. Kai Howard has returned for NJIT. He runs the point and brings it into the front court. Terrence Smith also back in for the Highlanders with Sidner, Lynn, and Winfield Willis. Lynn on the right wing, bounce pass out high for Coleman. Coleman looking for somebody to pass it to. He's guarded by Isailovic. Pass is deflected into the backcourt and out of bounds. That will remain NJIT basketball with 14 on the shot clock. Correction on the 5 on the floor. It's Smith with Lynn, Howard, Coleman, and Sidner. Inbound is into the backcourt to Howard. Guarded by Brent Jones as he crosses the timeline. Left to right come the Highlanders. Right around a slip screen from Smith. Driving now right. Scoop shot is blocked out of the air by Andy Fall, and it comes to Jones. Jones accelerates down the lane with a lefty scoop shot. It rolls in off the back iron, and a foul is called. Brent Jones attacking the rim aggressively, and he'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point play. Jones, who had 8 points off of the bench in a season-high 28 minutes against the Leopards on Thursday night, will attempt to hit this free throw. He is a 77% free throw shooter this season, a big increase from his free throw percentage last year, which was just 55%. Redshirt junior from Brooklyn, New York, knocks down the free throw and completes the three-point play. Terriers on a 7-0 run. They lead 12-5 with 13:17 remaining here in the first half. Howard swings it right sideline to Lynn. Up top for Coleman. Bounce pass now left wing on the swing pass to Sidner. Sidner back out high for Howard. Jones fell down. Howard gets it right of the lane to Coleman. Spinning back right. Runs in a fall. Traveling violation is called. One too many steps as Coleman, the freshman from Union, New Jersey, was out of control there. He played his high school ball for Bob Hurley at St. Anthony's High School, the legendary head coach in Jersey City. But he has also struggled in his last 3 games, much like the man guarding the ball right now out high, Damon Lynn. That freshman duo should be potent in years to come for NJIT, but right now they are very young. Left wing behind the arc, Isailovic holds against tough defense from Sidner man-on-man. Isailovic tries to dribble baseline, and he is bumped and fouled. 2 hands on the dribbler for Nigel Sidner, and that's a no-no every single time. That is the team's 5th foul, as the first on Sidner as well. As the Terriers will inbound near sideline in the front court to our left. Isailovic will trigger it in with Jones, Martin, Fall, and Mockford. Jones holds against Lynn out high on the left, dribbling with his right hand now on top of the Terrier logo near midcourt, right around a Martin screen. Pass back left for Martin, fakes on the jump shot, gets it off Mockford, straight away, 4-3, it's off the front iron, rebound to the far side corner, it's corralled by Jones, entry pass underneath the Fall, and he is hit from behind by 2 Highlanders, and a foul will be called, as Fall will go to the free throw line. That's on Tim Coleman, it's his first. It's also the team's 6th, so the Terriers are already 1 foul away from the 1-1 as Andy Fall heads to the free throw line. 6'6" sophomore, 220 pounds, has provided a terrific amount of toughness for the Terriers this season. He knocks down the first as he rattles it in off the rim. Fall, a 56% free throw shooter. He struggled a little bit from there this season. Does get fouled a lot. Second free throw is nothing but net. You could have fooled us with that quality of free throw from Fall. And the Terriers extend their run out to 9-0 now. 12:20 remaining in the first half. 14-5 our score. St. Francis Brooklyn on top here this Monday afternoon at the Pope Center. Howard dribbling to the right wing, hounded by Jones, picks up his dribble, bounce pass baseline, Coleman gets around Martin, attacks Fall, layup missed short off the backboard, rebound by Fall, gets it up to Jones. Jones lobs in transition, Martin behind the defense, lays it up and in. Terrific job in transition by St. Francis. They're on an 11-0 run, and a timeout called by Jim Engels and NJIT. Come out of the timeout for the Terriers, and it's Smith, Sidner, Lynn, Howard, and Coleman, the same 5 for both teams that left the floor to begin the timeout for NJIT. Lynn on the right sideline between the circles. Sidner holds against Mockford. The 3s guarding each other. Right side, Howard tries to drive baseline, and he is bumped and fouled by Brent Jones. That will lead us to another media timeout. 11:49 remaining in the first half. Terriers still on the 11-0 run, and they lead 16-5. St. Francis opponents are scoring against them this season. They are 1-3 when scoring less than 63 points in a ball game. Right now, they are on pace for much, much less than that, as the inbounds is made by the Highlanders in the front court as they attack the hoop to our right. Lynn holds between the circles, gives it off to Jake Duncan, a new sub in. Cross-court pass to Lynn, tries to dribble baseline, cut off by the good defense of Isailovic. Pass to the baseline for Coleman. Attacking Martin, gets around him. Lefty layup is good. An aggressive drive there for Tim Coleman. He gets his first bucket. And NJIT breaks the 11-0 run. Martin driving right against Coleman, looking to go right back at him. Hands off on the wing to Mockford, fakes on the trot, steps toward the top of the key and launches a two-pointer that's good. His toe was on the line. A tough shot for Ben Mockford, who leads everybody with 5 points as the Terriers lead 18-7. Lynn out high on the right side, guarded by Isailovic. That's a good match for St. Francis in terms of Isailovic's height advantage. Top of the key, Duncan. Thought about the jump shot, but Mockford closed on in as the Terriers continue to be aggressive in the man-to-man. Howard, top of the key between the circles, picks up his dribble, lobs it into the lane for Coleman, turns against the double team, shot blocked by Martin and fall, but the ball comes underneath to Smith. Hook shot on the baseline, no good. Offensive board to Coleman, and he goes up and is fouled as the shot misses off the glass. That will be on Amdi Fall, and that is his first. It's also the team's sixth. That'll send Tim Coleman to the free throw line, second leading rebounder for NJIT this season, and the team's leader in steals despite being a 6'5 forward. Coleman at the line, a 76% free throw shooter this season. And he will have 2 shots. First one by the lefty is up and off the back iron. Jalen Cannon makes his return, replacing Amdi Fall, who's done terrific work down low against the shorter NJIT front line on defense. Tim Coleman, career-high 15 points earlier this season against New Hampshire. Has started the last 7 games, but in his last 3 coming in, he is shooting just 4 for 21 from the field. Second free throw is up and good, so he splits the pair of free throws and has 3 points to tie the team high for NJIT as he checks out, replaced by Odera Nweke. NJIT defensively now with Lynn, Smith, Nweke, Howard, and Duncan. Terriers bring Anthony White, who has returned for St. Francis, with Cannon, Martin, Mockford, and Isailovic. White out high on the left, guarded by Damon Lynn. Bounce pass, head of the key, it's Cannon. Double team, kicks to the right side, Mockford. Step back, right wing, 3 is in and out. It was halfway down, rebound by Smith. Gets it up to Lynn, up the near side into the front court. Angles to his left, top of the key. Pull up long 2 is off the front iron. Rebound snagged by Martin on the baseline. Terriers continuing to hold NJIT to a very low shooting percentage as White hands off on the right wing. Mockford, top of the key. Martin thought about the 3, tries to cross over, and he travels with it. Tried to go before he had possession of the ball there, did Martin. As Ben Mockford checks out, replaced by P.J. Santaveneer, and Wayne Martin does the same. He's replaced by Lowell Ulmer into the game for the first time. The redshirt junior from Staten Island, New York, working his way back from an elbow injury he suffered when the Terriers took Syracuse down to the wire early in this season. Howard in the front court, guarded by Anthony White. Man-on-man between the circles. Pass to the right side along the sideline, right in front of the Terrier bench. It's Duncan. Circles out high with his left-hand dribble, guarded by Santaveneer. Pass to the right sideline now for Nweke. Out high for Smith. Looks for somebody to pass to. Gets to Howard, left elbow. Jab step. Pulls up for a jump shot and knocks it down. Kai Howard scores for the first time. He averages 9.5 points per game for NJIT, but he has 2 today. And the Terriers lead 18-10, 9.5 remaining here in this first half. Cannon, catch and shoot jump shot right of the circle is no good. Offensive board to Santaveneer, and he will back it out. Great work by Santaveneer, the junior from Middletown, Connecticut, on the boards there. He's not really known as a rebounder. Anthony White now, on top of the Terrier logo, tries to cross over. The ball's knocked away by Damon Lynn, but it comes back to the Terrier point guard. Hands off now to Ulmer. Spinning left down the lane. Shot with the right hand off the back rim. Offensive board to Ulmer. He goes up strong against Smith, and a foul is called. Good work by the Terrier subs right off the bench, getting right into the ball game and right into the box score, as that foul will be called on Odera Nweke. That's his second on the help defense. And that will send Lowell Ulmer to the free throw line. Ulmer this season has not made a free throw, but he's only attempted 2. Saw 3 minutes of action against Lafayette. Did Ulmer, who has that sleeve on his left elbow. First free throw is off the back iron, no good. Holiday and Sidner return for NJIT, as Holiday takes his place on the lane with his high school teammate Jalen Cannon on the opposite side for St. Francis. It's now Holiday, Sidner, Duncan, Howard, and Damon Lin for NJIT. Ulmer has one more free throw. Bends the knees, puts up the second. That one is also out off of the back iron. He can't make either of the pair. And NJIT grabs the rebound, starts it back the other way. Howard, bounce pass between the rings. Holiday, guarded by Cannon. The two high school teammates guarding each other, both the Allentown natives. Sidner now curls it out high near the Terrier logo, trying to drive against Ulmer, and he is bumped and fouled. There's the arm bar for Lowell Ulmer. That's another point of emphasis for officials this season in the NCAA. That is the team's 7th foul as well, and so it will send Nigel Sidner to the free throw line. Sidner is a 62% free throw shooter this season. NJIT as a team shoots it pretty well, 73% as a team, which is obviously first among Division I independents, considering NJIT is the only one of them. Sidner has 1 and 1. His first is off the back iron, and the rebound is taken in the paint by Isailovic. 18-10, St. Francis up by 8. 8:45 remaining here in the first half. White dribbles right around a screen, tries to pass baseline to Santaveneer, and Santaveneer cut one way, and the pass went the other way. A turnover for St. Francis as the ball goes out of bounds. It's one thing the Terriers have not been able to avoid very much this year. They are turning the ball over about 14 times a game, which is in the bottom 3 in the NEC, as in the front court, Howard runs over Santaveneer, and he makes up for the turnover as he draws the offensive foul as Howard lowered his shoulder. Howard was going nowhere. Santaveneer had good position, and St. Francis will work it back right to left into the front court in their home white uniforms. Cannon, Santaveneer, White, Ulmer, and Isailovic on the court. Anthony White guarded by Damon Lin, who's been very quiet for NJIT since his opening three-point basket. White tries to hand off in the paint to Cannon. He runs over a defender, and another offensive foul is called. This time it'll go back the other way. That's the first on Cannon. It's also the team's 8th, but it was an offensive player control foul, so no free throws for the Highlanders. As Brent Jones comes back in replacing Anthony White, who's getting some words from his head coach about what to do with the basketball. They mop up some perspiration in the paint as NJIT will move it back left to right in their road red uniforms. Howard dribbles left to the sideline, hands off to a curling Lin. Cross-court pass to Duncan, hounded by Santaveneer, and a whistle and a foul is called on Santaveneer, getting too handsy on defense. And that is Santaveneer's first, and it's also the 9th team foul on the Terriers, so one foul away are the Highlanders from shooting 2 free throws. 8:19 remaining here in the first half. NJIT attempting to cut into the lead. They're on a 5-2 run since the last media timeout. First free throw by Jake Duncan is good. Duncan, freshman guard from Williamsburg, Virginia at 6'4". Averages just 2.5 points per ball game. He's known as a shooter, but he's shot just 29% from 3 this season as he acclimates himself to Division I. He makes both free throws there, and now he is 6 out of 7 on the year from the line, as NJIT will fall back into their defense with one new substitution, Montana Mayfield guarding Brent Jones, who moves it into the front court for St. Francis. Attacking the hoop to our left. Ulmer holds right of the circle, guarded closely by Sidner. Lob pass to the left wing. Jones, catch and shoot. High arcing three is nothing but net. Brent Jones with 6 points on 2 3-point plays. That one a 3-point shot, and the Terriers lead 21-12 with 7:53 remaining here in the first half. Sidner driving right against Ulmer, right side of the lane, puts up a shot through Ulmer. It is partially blocked, but a foul will be called. And that'll be on Lowell Ulmer. He moved his feet there, but he extended the arms into the offensive player. It's the 10th team foul on St. Francis in this first half, but with 7:48 remaining until halftime, we'll take the old St. Francis at 41.2%, not necessarily the best percentage in the world, but their defense has been terrific. Kevin Douglas is back in for St. Francis out of the timeout. It's Douglas, Isailovic, Jones, Cannon, and Santaveneer as Nigel Sidner goes to the free throw line for 2 shots. He's 0 for 1 from the line so far today. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1 a couple minutes ago. His first free throw out of 2 is off the front iron, and Kevin Douglas and Brent Jones thought it was a 1-and-1. They both went for the rebound. Sidner will have one more. Again, he's just a 62% free throw shooter. He scored 8 points last season off of the bench in the Terriers' 2-point win in Newark as he knocks down the second free throw and splits the pair for his first point. Mayfield with Holiday, Sidner, Duncan, and Damon Lin on the court for NJIT defensively. Jones loses Mayfield, right elbow, dishes to the wing for Isailovic, guarded by Duncan, out high on the left now for Douglas, gives up on his right to Jones. Jones gets a screen from Douglas, dribbles left around the slip screen, pass back right to Jones on the pick and pop, dribbles right, hands off to Santaveneer, curls it into the paint with his left hand, shot with the right hand, no good, but it's tipped back in on the weak side by Jalen Cannon, his first bucket of the ball game. Duncan quickly back the other way for NJIT, forces it up off the glass, no good from the right baseline, rebound is loose on the court, it's picked up by Douglas, gets it up to Jones, accelerates to his right, into the front court, whips it down low off the hands of Cannon, out of bounds. A little bit too much mustard on that pass from Jones in close quarters with the Terrier star forward. Sheldon Hadrigal comes back into the ball game for St. Francis Brooklyn, replacing P.J. Santaveneer, who's done some good things off of the Terrier bench in this ball game. Winfield Willis also back in for NJIT as Damon Lynn will run the point for the Highlanders. Lynn guarded in the man-to-man by Jones between the circles. Bounce pass on his right to Willis. Guarded by Isailovic. Dribbles right. Fakes the handoff to Duncan. Instead, hands it off to Lynn. Curls it back out high with his left hand. Passes to his left for Sidner. Head of the key now, Terrence Smith controls. Smith gives it up to Sidner between the rings. Dribbles right around a Smith screen. Picked up by Cannon on a switch. Handoff now right wing Duncan. With 10 on the shot clock, he shoots the three and makes it. A whistle is blown as the shot is made. And a foul is called underneath. So Douglas picks up the foul underneath. It's his first. And the basket is scored for Jake Duncan, I believe. 16 points on the scoreboard now for NJIT as the officials, David Fernandez, Andrew Myra, and Gary Prager, work things out. And this will be one shot for Smith, who was fouled down low. 3 points for Duncan, who now has 5 on the ball game to lead NJIT. And as they continue to iron things out, we'll see what the case is. Smith is at the foul line regardless. He's a terrific free throw shooter. First is up and it rolls in. And he'll have another. So that means that Jake Duncan gets the three-point basket, and Smith is shooting 2 because the Terriers are over the double bonus. Smith will have one more. He's an 85% free throw shooter, the best on NJIT despite being a forward. He makes both, and he has 4 points. And Emmanuel Selentakis, Manny, he goes by, the sophomore guard from Greece, transfer from St. Louis University, makes his return, replacing Sidner for NJIT defensively. Terriers' lead has been cut to 5, 23-18 with 6.5 remaining here in this first half. Jones between the circles, hands off right wing, Hadrigal behind the arc. Guarded by Willis. In and out dribble, bounce pass right block to Cannon. Backs in, spins to his right, forces it up and in. Terrier bench wanted a foul call as well, but Jalen Cannon doing some work down low. He has 5 points now for St. Francis. Right sideline along the Terrier bench, it goes to Willis. Lob between the circles, or rather down low for Smith. And a whistle and an offensive foul is called as Smith pushed off on Jalen Cannon. That's the first foul on Smith. It's the team's 9th, so St. Francis one away from the double bonus themselves. Walking it up into the front court is Jones with Douglas, Isailovic, Cannon, and Hadrigal. Jones dribbling left. Gets a slip screen from Douglas, now left wing behind the arc, picks up his dribble, lobs it out high between the rings to Hadrigal, driving right against Winfield Willis. Trying to strip the ball on the help defense was Duncan, and a foul is called here, and that will be on Jake Duncan. That's his first. It's also the team's 10th, so Hadrigal to the line for 2 shots for St. Francis. 6 points against Lafayette is what Hadrigal scored on Thursday night. It's the first time in the last 5 games he'd been held under 10 points. NEC co-rookie of the week with Iverson Fleming of LIU Brooklyn this past week for the Northeast Conference. He makes the first free throw. He is a 69% free throw shooter on the season. As NJIT gets one more sub in, it's Tim Coleman who's returned for the Highlanders with Willis, Lynn, Selentakis, and Smith now as Hadrigal knocks down both free throws with the second one going in nothing but net. St. Francis back up by 9, 27-18, 5:51 remaining here in the first half. Selentakis against Douglas, lobs it out high for Winfield Willis. Dribbles left now along the left sideline. He's picked up by Brent Jones on a switch defensively. Now pass between the circles to Damon Lynn. Guarded by Isailovic, that's a mismatch in terms of height. Lynn dribbles right around a screen. Hedge out by Cannon to try and stop him. Right wing Selentakis shoots a 3. It misses long. Rebound tipped by Hadrigal to the foul line where Isailovic gets it. St. Francis right to left into the front court as Ben Mockford getting set to check back in for the Terriers at the next dead ball. Jones between the circles. He's guarded by Damon Lynn. Angles to his right, now on the wing. Behind the arc, crosses left around a cannon screen. Jump pass out high, Hadjigal. Catch and shoot three over Willis is off the back iron. Offensive rebound at the foul line, however, by Jalen Cannon. Has it stripped away from behind by Selentakis, who was on his backside. And then Cannon is run into by Selentakis along the left sideline from behind. And a foul will be called here. Selentakis picks up that one. He's been hustling all the way since he's come back into the ball game. But his hustle has not bought him any points. It's just got him that one personal foul. Jalen Cannon is all right as Selentakis fell on the back of his leg. That's always a danger. Few substitutions come in for St. Francis. We'll give you the 5 on the floor for the Terriers in a moment. NJIT defensively with Willis, Lynn, Sidner, Jake Duncan, who comes back in for NJIT, and also Terrence Smith. And now for St. Francis, it's Isailovic, Martin, Mockford. Those are the 3 subs with Milk and White still on the court. Mockford out high on the right side, guarded by Willis at arm's length. Left around a Martin screen, gets the step on Willis. Down the left of the lane, lays it in. A rare layup for Ben Mockford, who really doesn't drive all that often. But NJIT parted the Red Sea, so to speak, allowing Mockford to drive all the way in, and he now has 7 points in his first game back after missing the last 2 with back spasms. 40-35, St. Francis extends the lead back out to 5. As Damon Lynn will bring it into the front court for NJIT. Attacking the hoop to our left, gives it up on his right to Willis. Dribbles left around a Smith screen, attacking White. Floats it up with the right hand, no good, but a foul is called. That's on Anthony White, it's his second. It's also the team's second. That will send Winfield Willis to the free throw line. Sophomore guard from Baltimore, Maryland, a Division II transfer from Clarion University, where after sitting out a year, or rather after coming off the bench for NJIT last season, he misses the first. He has 2 points tonight. As a freshman 2 seasons ago, he averaged just under 16 points for Clarion. A couple games ago, he set a new NJIT Division I program record with 30 points in a ball game. As he splits the pair of free throws there, he now has 3. 30 points for Willis against LIU Brooklyn in an eventual close loss for the Highlanders. Top of the key, Martin, as St. Francis attacks the hoop to our right. Mockford down the left of the lane, floats it up with his left hand and gets the bank to go in again. 2 layups for Ben Mockford, 9 points for the senior sharpshooter from Shoreham by Sea, England. And the Terriers lead by 6, 42-36, 16:27 remaining here in the second half. Sidner between the circles, dribbles left hands off to a curling Lynn. Bumps with Isailovic, kick to the right corner, Willis for 3, it's good. Nothing but net for Winfield Willis, his first 3-point basket of the ball game. He shoots 43% from deep on the year, and the Terriers lead cut in half. 42-39 now. White on the left wing, hooks a pass out to the top of the key. Martin steps inside the arc, jump shot is good. Wayne Martin with 4 points, about half his season average, as the Terriers lead now 44-39. Next dead ball will be a media timeout. 15:50 remaining here in the second half. Duncan along the right sideline, guarded by Mockford in the Terrier man-to-man. Up top for Sidner. Holds against Martin. Driving right now, side of the lane, spinning. Picks up his dribble, left wing for Willis. Fakes on the 3, drives in with the right hand. Shot is contested by Martin. It's off the glass, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. It's last touched by Winfield Willis. Brent Jones will come in for St. Francis after the timeout, but with 15:35 remaining here in the second half, St. Francis keeping NJIT at arm's length. Our score, St. Francis Brooklyn 44, NJIT 9, 15:35 remaining here in the second half. Jason Garrett back with you for all of the action here on sfcathletics.com and NEC Front Row. NJIT shooting just 32% from the field in this ball game. Terriers up to 44% now, as their lead is by 5 points. Jones angles to his left, hands off on the left wing to Isailovic. Up top for Martin, dribbles right, fakes the handoff to Martin, looks it down low for Brent Jones. They can't get it to him. Back out for Mockford now, out high on the right side, near the sideline in front of the Terrier bench. Crossover dribble, dribbling left around a Martin screen, top of the key. Back to Martin, pick and pop. Jump shot just right of the circle, no good. Rebound is tipped, however, to Jones across the foul line. Jones left open. He shoots a 3 left wing. That's off the back rim. And the rebound strong side by Lynn. Lynn with Selentakis, Duncan, Willis, and Terrence Smith on the court for NJIT out of the timeout. Selentakis, cross-court pass to Willis, dribbles left toward the top of the key, around a Smith screen, back to Smith, foul line, passes to a cutting Lynn, backdoor, bounce pass right back to Smith. He lays it in with 2 hands. That's a pretty play by NJIT as Terrence Smith breaks into double digits with 11. Terrier lead just 3 once again. Jones dribbles right around a Matt Milk screen, Pass back to the left wing for Isailovic. Left of the lane, it's Milk. Hands off to Jones, attacking 3 defenders. His shot is blocked, but it comes to Martin on the baseline. Back out to Isailovic, straight on 3 is off the back rim. Rebound by Lynn. 14:20 remaining here in the second half. Duncan thought about the 3 in the right corner, but backs it out along the sideline for Lynn. 14:15 remaining here in the second half. NJIT attacking the hoop to our left. Salantakis circling right with his dribble all the way to the right side of the floor. Hands off to Willis. Backs it out near the Terrier logo at midcourt. Guarded by Ben Mockford in the Terrier man-to-man. Whips it to the right corner now for Salantakis. Drives the baseline, runs into Milk. Tries a skip pass. It's saved in by Isailovic. Great defense by the Serbian guard. Up to Martin all alone. He can't finish, but he was pushed in the back. He went up like he wanted to dunk the ball, but the foul occurred on the shot, and that will be on Winfield Willis. That's his first and just the team's first. So NJIT played the first 6 minutes of the half without committing a single personal foul. Wayne Martin at the free throw line now. 59% free throw shooter for St. Francis in his freshman season out of South Shore High School in Brooklyn. 11 minutes versus Lafayette, which is one off his season low, but he's playing more today. Yeah, his first is good. He has 7 points now. Amdi Fall comes in replacing Matt Milk, who's seen extended minutes today going up against a shorter NJIT team. Kai Howard also returns for the Highlanders, as Martin has one more. Double digits in points for Martin 5 times this year, but he hasn't reached that total of 10 in his last 4 games. His second free throw is off the front iron and straight down to the court. He splits the pair. Rebound by NJIT. Howard angling to his right, hands off to a curling Duncan. Cross-court pass to Willis, swings left to the wing to Salantakis. Underneath to Duncan, fading away over Mockford from 5 feet away, and score the basket for Duncan. And a foul is also called on NJIT. So score the basket for Jake Duncan on the short jump shot. 7 points now for the freshman from Virginia. And Terrence Smith picks up the foul, and that is his 3rd, so he will exit in favor of Odera Nweke. So now our score 45-43. St. Francis still leading NJIT. They've led for most of this ball game after NJIT took a 3-0 lead early. And they've led this entire second half as well. Mockford out high on the right, dribbles left around a Jalen Cannon screen and a whistle, and a blocking foul is called on the Highlanders. That is Winfield Willis's second. Terriers inbound on the near sideline, right in front of our broadcast position, attacking the hoop to our right. Isailovic will do the honors. Cannon, Jones, Mockford, and Amdi Fall on the court as well for St. Francis. Jones between the circles, dribbles left around a fall screen at the elbow, to the wing, bounce pass to the left baseline for Jalen Cannon, tries to turn through a double team, and he is smacked down to the floor and fouled. Odera Nweke picks up his 3rd on that play, the team's 4th, so NJIT in the last 26 seconds has picked up 4 fouls after playing 6 minutes without picking up a single foul. Jalen Cannon at the free throw line. He's got 10 points to lead St. Francis. His first free throw up and off the front rim. He's missed 3 free throws today, and he has made 6, so he's 6 out of 9. Daquan Holiday comes in for NJIT, Cannon's high school teammate. In fact, high school classmate as well. Second free throw for Cannon is nothing but net. 11 points now for the Terriers' star forward. And NJIT will work it back right to left into the front court. 13 minutes remaining here in the second half. 46-43 our score. Salantakis out high between the rings. Holiday dribbles right, hands off to Duncan, curls against Mockford down the left of the lane. Stops, picks up his dribble. Ball's knocked away. It's loose on the court. It goes all the way into the front court for St. Francis. It's picked up on the run by Brent Jones. Feeds Cannon down low. Layup is good. NJIT not getting back defensively there, and the Terriers making them pay. Terrific hustle by Jones to get to the ball, which traveled a full 50 feet before somebody picked it up. 48-43, Terriers lead by 5. 12:35 remaining in the second half. Howard between the rings, Salantakis, guarded by Cannon. Behind his back dribble, dribbles left, hands off to a curling Willis, guarded by Isailovic now at the top of the key. Willis, bounce pass to the left elbow, extended to Salantakis. Looking to take Cannon off the dribble, driving right of the lane against the Terrier forward. Shot rejected, straight down by Amdi Fall, and then Fall gets a loose ball into the front court. Fall trying to feed Isailovic, it's deflected out by NJIT. An emphatic swat for MD Fall. My goodness. I think he swatted that one all the way to Queens. Terriers to inbound on the near side of the baseline to our right. Fall is second in the Northeast Conference in blocks, and he certainly sent that one. If there were bonus points given for emphatic blocks, he'd be scoring about 10 blocks on that play. Jones to inbound, triggers it underneath Cannon, has his shot blocked underneath the rim. Rebound is saved in by NJIT, and then Cannon is run into by Holiday. And it is out of bounds off NJIT, so Holiday touched the ball while he was still standing out of bounds. Terriers to inbound, no reset of the shot clock, 12:07 remaining here in the second half. Terriers lead by 5. They switch sides of the baseline now for the inbound. It gets it into Mockford. Does Jones, and he backs it out along the left sideline. He loves that left corner three, but he didn't take it there. Mockford attacking 2 defenders. The shot is blocked out of bounds by the Highlanders. Or rather, by St. Francis. It'll be NJIT ball when we come back from this latest media timeout. 11:57 remaining in the second half. Terriers 48, NJIT thanks to 10 offensive rebounds for the Highlanders. 28-26 overall, but the Terriers shooting 38.5%. NJIT just 35%. Driving right against the right of the lane is Howard. His shot is rejected by Fall off of the backboard, and it comes in transition to Jones. In the paint, kick out, left wing, Isailovic for 3. That's good. It didn't bank in for Aleks that time, but he gets his first 3-point basket of the ball game, and the Terriers extend their lead out to 8. Quick action there right out of the timeout as NJIT brings Lynn, Holiday, Howard, Coleman, and Willis. Lynn, skip pass right corner to Willis. Fakes on the 3, drives him with the left-hand shot. Almost swatted again by Fall, but it missed off the front of the rim. Rebound by Isailovic. Hadjigal, Isailovic, Fall, Cannon, and Jones on the court. Fall driving baseline, lost the ball out of bounds. Well, you know, when you block shots like Amdi Fall does, and you get as many of them as he has today, you try to carry that over and score some points, and a little bit too eager there was Fall. Doesn't have tremendous dribbling ability. And the turnover for St. Francis. 51-43 Terriers, 11 minutes remaining here in the second half. Lynn on the right wing behind the arc, guarded by Hadjigal, the fellow freshman. Driving right, fades away from 5 feet. Jump shot no good, off the front rim. Rebound Cannon up to Jones. Jones quickly angling to his left. Hop step to the rim. Layup with the left hand is good against Holiday. That's an impressive shot for Brent Jones going up against the trees, and a timeout is called by Jim Engels and NJIT as the Terriers, with a 5 women's basketball team, is in action once again here at the Pope Center. NJIT comes out of the timeout with Lynn, Howard, Willis, Smith, and Coleman. St. Francis defensively with Fall, Jones, Hadjigal, Isailovic, and Cannon. Howard, top of the key, gives it off on his right wing to Lynn. Bounce pass left block, extended to Smith. 15 to shoot, backing in on Fall with the left hand. Shot with the right hand is blocked point blank by Fall. Hadjigal gets the loose ball, and a foul called on NJIT. Terrence Smith with the frustration foul after Amdi Fall denied him right at the rim. That's the 4th foul on Terrence Smith, and that's a big call because Smith is leading the Highlanders in scoring with 11 points on the ball game. Meanwhile, Amdi Fall has 4 blocks in the ball game. That's a new career high. Jones will slow it down finally and walk it up into the front court against Amon Lynn for the Terriers. Attacking the hoop to our right. Jones hands off left sideline, Isailovic. Guarded by Howard in the man-to-man. Isailovic driving against Howard with his left hand. Scoop shot with the right hand and rolls around the rim and drops through. Aleks Isailovic off the dribble. The Terrier 3-point shooters are getting buckets at the rim today. 55-43, 12-point Terrier lead. Now Willis backs it out for Coleman between the circles. Watched by Cannon. Coleman crossing Cannon up right down the lane. Shot off of the glass, no good. Fall almost blocked that one too. Rebound by Jones. Lead pass intended for Hadjigal is saved in between his legs, but it comes right to Damon Lynn. Numbers for NJIT, 3-on-3. Bounce pass to Lynn. Attacks the rim. Layup over Fall, no good. There's the shot blocker again for the Terriers doing work. Rebound by Isailovic. Glenn Breaka calls out easy to St. Francis Brooklyn as Brent Jones, who has a propensity to move a little bit too fast, a whistle, and a 10-second violation is called on St. Francis. Isailovic took a while to hand the ball off to Brent Jones. Glenn Breaka can't believe it. But a 10-second violation, you look up at the shot clock, there's 24 seconds on it, and that is a 10-second violation indeed. So Jones not realizing how much time was on the shot clock there. A turnover for St. Francis, 9:20 remaining here in the second half. Terriers lead by 12. That is the largest lead of the ball game right now for St. Francis as well. Lynn, right of the circle, cross-court pass to Willis. Across the top of the arc, swings to the left corner for Howard. Guarded by Isailovic, driving left on the baseline, and bumping with Isailovic is Howard, and it draws the foul. That's Isailovic's first. It's also just the team's third. St. Francis has been playing their defense without fouling in this second half. Both teams really have. Lynn in the left corner off the inbounds, almost crossed up Hadjigal. Dribbles right around a screen, hands it back on the wing to Howard. Howard guarded by Isailovic in the Terrier man-to-man. Under 9 minutes remaining here in the second half. Lynn catch and shoot three. Right wing is good. They've controlled Damon Lynn in his three-point shooting in this ballgame. That's his first points of the second half, but now he has 10. The freshman guard from Hillside, New Jersey, and Union Catholic High School. Jones crosses right around a slip screen from Fall. Gets a step on Lynn. Attacks the rim. Floats it up with the right hand. No good. Rebound is tipped to Lynn on the run. Into the front court. 2-on-2. Lynn attacking Hadjigal. Ball is stripped out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Terriers. Good work there by Hadjigal to stay in front of Damon Lynn just enough so that the guard lost the ball out of bounds, and NJIT to inbound. Near side of the baseline to our left. Inbound is to Lynn. Catch and shoot left wing three is in and out. Rebound is tipped, but it comes to Isailovic on the near side. St. Francis will slow it down once again. Brent Jones calls out a play as he walks it up into the front court. Guarded by Winfield Willis in the man-to-man. Dribbles right, hands off to Cannon. Cross-court pass to Isailovic. Swings it left on the motion offense to Hadjigal. Bounce pass left block to Cannon. Spins baseline around Coleman. Against two defenders, flips it up. No, but a foul is called. Cannon left it short, but that was because he was hit on the arm by Odera Nweke, and that is the Richmond, Texas native's fourth foul. It's also the sixth on the team, and that will send Jalen Cannon back to the free throw line where he's 7 for 10 this afternoon. Just 3 out of 7 from the field is Cannon, but again, his presence down there at 6'6" is so intimidating. First free throw is no good off the front iron. 13 points for Cannon today. 6'6", 230 from Pennsylvania. He'll have one more. As Kevin Douglas has returned for St. Francis, we'll give you the 5 on the floor for the Terriers in just a moment. 8:07 remaining in the second half. Second free throw knocked in by Cannon, and he's replaced by Lowell Ulmer. It's now Fall, Ulmer, Douglas, Isailovic, and Jones against Nweke, who remains on the court with 4 fouls. Willis, Howard, Coleman, and Lynn. Howard angles to his left toward the top of the key, right around a slip screen from Coleman, picked up by Ulmer on a switch. Bounce pass backdoor to Willis, fakes on the baseline, jump shot right side, backs it out now out high for Howard. Driving right, crossing up left against Ulmer, a whistle, and a foul is called on St. Francis. And that's on Kevin Douglas. It isn't on Ulmer, who was the primary defender there on Howard. It's on Douglas for reaching in just a little bit too far. It's his third, team's fourth, and with 7:49 remaining in the second half, we'll take another timeout. Back with you for the action this Monday afternoon. Pre-Christmas matinee for college basketball fans out there. And Kai Howard to inbound. Tries to pass in for Nweke, cutting to the rim, but it's deflected out by St. Francis. Terriers bring Isailovic, Ulmer, Fall, Douglas, and Brent Jones on the court defensively out of the timeout. Inbound is to Lynn, dribbles to the left elbow, picks up his dribble. Ball is knocked away from behind by Jones. Saved by Isailovic up to Douglas, attacking the rim with the left hand. Layup is good and a foul. What hustle by the Terriers. The deflection by Jones. The dive by Isailovic. The layup for Douglas. He'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point play and a chance to give the Terriers their largest lead of the ball game. That foul, by the way, is on Kai Howard. It's his second. It's also the team's 7th. Douglas, who is going to stay in the ballgame. He's bending his knees and wincing a little bit at the free throw line. He did lay that in through a couple of defenders. Free throw is up and good. He makes the and one go down. He has 9 points, and he's going to be replaced by Sheldon Hadjigal. Douglas is frustrated that he has to come out of the ball game off of that, but he will be checked on to see if he's all right. Howard crosses right around a screen. Bounce pass baseline to Nweke. Tries a reverse layup. It's blocked by Fall, but a foul is called. 59-46 Terriers with their largest lead of the ball game, 3 points, at the 7:30 mark here in the second half. That will send Nweke to the line for 2. He is 1 out of 2 this season from the free throw line. Comes from a basketball-playing family. First free throw is up and good. Nweke has 2 brothers, Kem and Afam, who played Division I basketball at New Mexico and Louisiana Monroe, respectively, and his cousin was a first-round NBA draft pick. Second free throw for Nweke is up and nothing but net, and Nigel Sidner comes in replacing Nweke. Just to finish up the point on the reserve forward, his cousin is Ndudi Ebi, who was a first-round pick in the 2003 NBA draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Didn't do much in the NBA, but it's nice to have a relative who's been at that level of basketball. 59-48, St. Francis with an 11-point lead. Attacking the hoop to our right, Jones dribbling right, hands off on the wing to Ulmer. Dribbles left, hands off, now cross-court to Hadjigal. Splits a double team around a screen, back out to Isailovic. Long straightaway 3 is in and out. Offensive rebound fought for by Hadjigal, but it comes to Coleman underneath the rim. Gives it up to Howard, angles quickly into the front court. Right baseline, Willis driving left against Isailovic. He lost the ball on the way up, and it's taken away by Fall. Terriers continuing to be terrific on defense, especially at the rim. Bouncing left of the lane to Ulmer. Kick out of Isailovic. Wasn't ready for the three-point shot. Backs it out now. Dribbles right around an Ulmer screen. Crosses back right. Tries to in and out dribble with it. Falls down, but he hands it off to Jones. Isailovic not used to dribbling a whole ton. 12 seconds now to shoot for Jones. Left around an Ulmer screen. Hesitates down the left of the lane. Kicks to the left, right corner. Isailovic shoots the 3, and that's good. Aleks Isailovic with his second three-pointer of the ball game. He scored all 8 of his points here in the second half as Howard runs Isailovic over, and a blocking foul is called. That would have been some sequence for Aleks Isailovic if he'd take the charge right after he hit the three-pointer. That's Isailovic's second foul. Season high 9 points in a season high 27 minutes against Lafayette last Thursday, including the game-winning bank three-pointer with 0.7 seconds left to win it for the Terriers. Kai Howard at the free throw line, 65% shooter on the season. A rare guard who shoots better from the field than he does from the free throw line. His first is up and off the front rim short. 2 points today for Kai Howard, 7 below his season average. He'll have one more. 57% from the field is Howard, the sophomore from Philadelphia, but 65% from the line. He was 1 out of 2 on that trip, and the Terriers will attempt to extend their lead. 62-49, 6:15 remaining here in the second half. Jones accelerates around Lynn, hands it off along the right to Ulmer. Cross-court pass to Isailovic, swings left to the wing to Hadjigal. Guarded by Willis in the man-to-man defense. Bounce pass left baseline to Ulmer. Backing in, draws a double team. Skip pass to Isailovic. Long 3 right of the circle is off the back rim. Offensive board, however, tracked down by Ulmer. Right wing, long jump pass to Hadjigal. It comes to him on a deflection. Double team now in the corner. Kicks it out to Jones. Angles to his right, into the paint. Hands off inside, Fall. Attacks the rim. His shot is stripped away by NJIT, and it comes to Howard. Spins into the front court around Ulmer. NJIT back the other way. Sidner, catch and shoot left wing 3 is in and out halfway down. Offensive board to Coleman. His shot partially blocked by Isailovic. Another offensive rebound, and NJIT still can't finish as Howard misses off the glass. Rebound by Jones. Into the front court. Jones feeds Fall. Right block, and he lays it in off the turn. Andy Fall getting rewarded for his defensive prowess. He has 4 points. That's his first bucket in the second half. And NJIT calls a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 5:20 remaining in, and they are doing so in the ball game as well. 37-31 at this juncture. So trends are holding true for St. Francis, and that's a good thing for Terrier fans. Isailovic along the right sideline, dribbles out. Skip pass now, left elbow extended to Fall as NJIT shows a trapping defense here with the man-to-man as well. Hadjigal, Isailovic, Jones, Fall, and Cannon. Isailovic catches under duress, driving into the paint all the way to the rim. His layup is no good. Offensive board to Fall. He can't finish on the far side, and then a whistle on the rebound by Smith and a foul on the Terriers. Isailovic really frustrated with himself that he missed that layup. But NJIT will head to the free throw line. And that will be after this media timeout. That was a dead ball situation. 3:30 remaining in the second half. Terriers up by 17 points, their largest lead of the ball game, 68-7. Inbound is to Howard in the backcourt. Gives it off on the right sideline to Lynn, guarded by Hadjigal. Terriers once again in the man-to-man defense with Jones, Hadjigal, Fall, Cannon, and Isailovic. Sidner backs it out high on the left. In and out dribble, right around a screen from Terrence Smith, who's returned. Back to Smith on the pick and roll. Pump fake's got Fall in the air, and he lays it up and in. Terrence Smith now with 13 points to lead NJIT. Hadjigal accelerates left, gets the step on his defender all the way to the rim and lays it in. Sheldon Hadjigal taking advantage of some lax defense there. And NJIT will attack the hoop to our left once again. 66-51 St. Francis Brooklyn. 4:40 remaining here in the second half. Left baseline Coleman driving right into the paint. No shot, stripped out of his hands is the ball by Brent Jones. Back the other way comes St. Francis. Cannon on the left wing just inside the arc, hands off to Jones. Jones backs it out, guarded by Damon Lynn. Jones, in and out dribble, now top of the key, driving right against Lynn. Bounce pass right baseline, Fall. Jump stop, dishes inside to Cannon, attacks the rim, and he is fouled. Nifty interior passing by the Terriers there as Jones found Fall, who in turn passed it to Cannon. Amity Fall with a big smile on his face. He's played possibly his best game for St. Francis today. He's got 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 blocks as Jalen Cannon is back at the free throw line trying to get over his season average, and he does with that free throw. 15 points now for Jalen Cannon as Winfield Willis comes back in replacing Coleman. NJIT now with 8 team fouls, as that was on Coleman. It's his third. Second free throw rolls in for Cannon, 16 points now, including 6 in the second half. NJIT back the other way in their road red uniforms, trimmed navy blue. Howard tries to spin on Isailovic, pass to the top of the key instead to Smith, hands off to Lynn. Right around a Smith screen, now back left, pulls up for a long three, it's off the right iron. Poor shot attempt by the freshman there, rebound by Fall. Into the front court up the right side of the floor comes Jones, double teamed as he dribbles into a trap stop right in front of our broadcast position. Timeout called by Jones. St. Francis now with 3 timeouts remaining, so we'll keep it right here. 3:54 remaining in the second half. Islanders out of the timeout as he was fouled by Aleks Isailovic. This will be a 1-and-1 opportunity. The foul was on the floor for Smith. 85% free throw shooter. He is 3 out of 4 there, from there today. Smith puts up the first. It is nothing but net. 14 for Smith. Leads the Highlanders and trails only Jalen Cannon for the game for either team. He'll have one more. Smith flips the ball in his left hand, puts it up and puts it in. He makes both ends of the 1-and-1. That's an 85% free throw shooter. You expect him to do that. Odera Nweke comes back in replacing Smith, who has 4 fouls to protect him from any further foul trouble. Full court man-to-man press now shown by NJIT. Hadjigal with 4 seconds to get it over the timeline. Crosses right, picks up his dribble to Isailovic, trying to get it over, and a 10-second violation is called. Sheldon Hadjigal will learn such things as a freshman, but he held the ball a little bit too long in the backcourt, and a turnover for St. Francis as they lead by 15 points. NJIT now with Sidner, Howard, Lynn, Willis, and Terrence Smith, who returns for offensive purposes. Bounce pass right, low block to Smith. Goes up strong against Fall. Layup misses strong. Rebound tipped away from Cannon, but it comes to Jones on the run into the front court. Jones curls it back out to the baseline. Now drives all the way in. Shot is partially blocked. Rebound is tipped away from Cannon, and it's corralled by Sidner. Up the far side, Damon Lynn. Damon Lynn catches against Jones. Ball's deflected away, but it comes to right baseline to Smith. Driving left, hop step, shot over Fall is good. He had to get it high in the air, did Terrence Smith there. He has 17 points now to lead all scorers. And a timeout is called of the timeout for St. Francis. And they'll also line up at the foul line in an out-of-bounds play. Isailovic to trigger it in on the inbounds. Isailovic looking for anybody to get it into. Can't find anyone. He finally lobs it near half court to Hadjigal. Dribbles into the front court. Driving all the way to the rim. Up and under shot is rejected by Nweke and taken in the near side corner by Lynn. Into the front court come the Highlanders. Right wing Willis, catch and shoot 3 is off the back rim. High rebound though to Sidner at the foul line. Hands off inside to Terrence Smith. Attacks the rim. Shot partially blocked by Amdy fall. Rather, there was Howard underneath who was blocked by a fall, and a whistle is blown. And a foul is called, and that is on NJIT on the rebound of Howard's missed shot. That's on Howard himself. And it's the team's 9th, so this will send the Terriers to the line for 1-1. It's Howard's 3rd personal foul. Aleks Isailovic to shoot the free throws. If he makes both, it'll be a new season high in points for him. Isailovic 2 out of 4 from the line this season. 6'4" guard, bends the knees, puts up the first, it's good. He'll have one more. 9 points all in the second half for Isailovic today, including 2 3-pointers. He'll have one more. Dribbles 2 times, flips the ball in his hands, puts it up, and it's nothing but net. 10 points for Isailovic. First time all year he's been in double digits. Howard brings it into the front court for NJIT, drives right around a Smith screen, picked up by Fall in a switch, back up between the circles. Willis drives left around a Smith screen, runs into Isailovic, and a whistle, and it's an offensive foul. Shoving away Isailovic with the offhand was Winfield Willis, and that is his 3rd and the team's 10th. The player control foul, so no free throws for St. Francis. Ben Mockford comes in to give the Terriers a little more experience, replacing Sheldon Hadjigal. Aleks Isailovic once again playing extremely well for head coach Glenn Breka. As Isailovic looking to get the ball in, a whistle, 5-second violation is called. Brent Jones slams the ball in frustration, and another whistle. And this could be just a warning. It could be something more. Sheldon Hadjigal looking to check in. He's going to replace Brent Jones for at least the moment. And no substitution quite yet. Referee saying a second has to come off the shot clock after that turnover before they can come back into the ballgame. So Howard inbounds it, gets it into Willis, left block, driving on Mockford into the paint with his right hand, tries to hand off down low to Nweke, and it's right into the arms of Isailovic. Isailovic up the near side against Sidner, bumps, lost the ball, it's taken away by Nweke. Up to Willis, 2-on-1 the other way. Willis all the way to the rim, missed the layup off the glass in front iron, rebound is loose on the floor, fall is tied up by Howard, a jump ball is called, and NJIT will keep it. With under 2 minutes remaining in the second half, a 15-point lead for the Terriers. NJIT not giving up yet. Terrence Smith comes in replacing Nweke. NJIT will keep the ball as we mentioned. Ben Mockford comes in replacing Sheldon Hadjigal. Or rather, Hadjigal comes in replacing Mockford, I should say. So Hadjigal was not replacing Brent Jones, who slammed the ball in frustration after Isailovic couldn't get in. The ball as now Isailovic is mopping up some sweat from the court. He's doing it all today. He's making threes. He's driving to the rim. He's playing terrific defense. And he's a part-time sweat mopper. 70-55 our score. Inbounds will be made by Howard. He's watched by Isailovic. He watches inbounds too. Inbounds is high in the paint to Smith. Tries to catch and put up a shot against Fall. It's rejected. Amdy Fall again going straight up with Smith. Into the front court comes Hadjigal, driving right of the lane. Hands off inside Cannon, up and under layup left short, but a foul is called as Cannon hit the deck. Cannon at 6'6", 230 can take a lot of contact, and he's taken a lot of it today. A little bit gimpy as he gets up, but that's just because he hit the floor so hard. No other problems for Cannon. Drawn a lot of fouls today. He's 10 out of 14 from the foul line. First free throw of 2 is up and good. 17 for Cannon. He had 19 on Thursday in the win over Lafayette. Snapped a streak of 3 straight games where he didn't score double digits, and he's certainly righted the ship this weekend. Second free throw, also nothing but net. 72-55. Terriers by 17. Howard into the front court. Bounces on his right near the sideline. Willis guarded closely by Jones. Bounce pass backdoor to Howard, and he lays it up and in. Got around to Isailovic that time. 1:33 remaining as NJIT shows the full court press. Inbound left corner to Hadjigal. Pass to Isailovic is knocked away and stolen by Howard. Howard tried to go up and under on Isailovic, and it's blocked out of bounds by the Terriers. Isailovic getting a block shot there. Howard once again to inbound. With 1:25 remaining here in the second half. Inbound is to Lynn between the circles. Dribbles left into a pull-up three. It's good. Damon Lynn with his third three of the ball game. He has 13 points. And a whistle is blown before the Terriers can get it in. Hold everybody other than Terrence Smith and Lynn in check. Next two closest players each have 7. That's Sidner and Duncan. Brent Jones pounds the ball emphatically on the inbounds. Gets it into Isailovic. Bounce pass back to Jones. Angles to his right into the front court. Picks up his dribble. Whips it to Isailovic at half court. They give it along the left, Mockford. High post now to Jones. Jones driving all the way to the rim, and he lays it in. Jones taking advantage of the trapping nature of NJIT there. Under a minute remaining as the Terriers lead by 14. Willis drives left around Mockford, and he is held and fouled from behind. Ben Mockford wondering how in the world that was a foul on him, but that is a point of emphasis this season in NCAA basketball. He had his hand on the dribbler too long, and that sends Winfield Willis to the line for 1-and-1. Willis today with 6 points. That's 5 below his season average as well. First free throw of the 1-and-1 is good. St. Francis, barring an NJIT miracle, a Christmas miracle, if you will get their 8th win of the season. Terrence Smith getting set to check it back in for the Highlanders after the free throw, which Willis makes nothing but net. Smith, Howard, Willis, Lynn, and Sidner on the court for NJIT. Jones tries to get it into Cannon. Ball's deflected, but it comes back to Jones. Jones angles to his left, still in the backcourt. Jones dribbling left into the front court. Skip past right wing Mockford, and he backs it out for Isailovic. Isailovic dribbles right, pass to the top of the key for Jones. Bounce to a cutting Isailovic. The layup is good, and a foul is called. Aleks Isailovic to the line to try and complete a 3-point play. He has been terrific in this second half. All of his points in the ballgame have come after halftime. Lowell Ulmer will check in, replacing Jalen Cannon, who's likely done for the day. He gets a nice hand from the crowd. Isailovic's career high is 16 points at Bryant late last season, so he'll need a couple more buckets to get to that number, but he has 12 right now, 13 if he makes the free throw, which is up and good. Coaching staff yells out no fouls, 38.2 seconds remaining as Howard picks up the basketball. Bounce pass on his left to Lynn. Long three right side is in and out. Rebound is taken by Smith, and then he is fouled from behind by Ulmer. Rather, that's on Brent Jones. Referee held up a 2 with his left hand, but that's because he was asking if it was a 2-shot foul, but it wasn't. Terrence Smith to the line for 1-and-1. That was the 9th team foul on St. Francis. 77-62, St. Francis in front with 30 seconds remaining. First free throw rolls in for Smith as he now has 18 points. Career high is 22, set earlier this year against Maine, so he probably will not accumulate that total. Second free throw rims out. Rebound tipped by Hadjigal, and it's loose. It's out of bounds over the near side in front of the NJIT bench, and it's off St. Francis. So, NJIT will inbound once again. Willis gets it into Howard. Shot clock is off now. Right around a Smith screen goes Howard. Almost reaching in was Jones. Skip pass left corner to Sidner. Fakes on the 3. Dribbles inside the arc. Bumps with Isailovic. Puts it up and in off the glass. No foul there by the Terriers, as Sidner has 9 points. 18 seconds remaining. NJIT fighting to the bitter end here, still with the full court press on. Jones, long skip past Isailovic, right baseline, backs it out Hadjigal, and now cross-court pass to Ulmer, and that will likely do it. The Terriers improve to 8-5 on the season, and they get Glenn Bryka his 50th win at St. Francis Brooklyn. The final score today in the pre-Christmas matinee, 77-65. For one total point. Aleks Isailovic was one of the stories of the second half for St. Francis Brooklyn, as he scored all 13 of his buckets after halftime, all 13 of his points, and all 4 of his buckets after the halftime break. 2 out of 5 as well for Isailovic from deep. And he also contributed 7 rebounds, 3 blocked shots, and 2 steals in one of his finest games in a St. Francis uniform. And